have them switch places. Maybe use wireless redstone to fire both off at the same time, so whenever I push the button, the replacement cart flies past. Wow, it's kind of weird walking this kind of distance without shoes on. So let's see how much... Hey! Look at the sugarcane farm. That's more like what I expected to see out of that production. And look, it's still going. And that's just with... that's an electric engine going forever. You can see his... I love his new UIs. These are amazing. You see how it's just taking a little bit, then pulsing 2 megajoules. And right now, yeah, it's... I love what he's done with those. So it'll be great if he gets around to putting that in all of Buildcraft, because he's kind of the head man in that project now. So, oh, one thing that I did do. When I was on my way back from the mining, the long storied gold mining expedition, I did discover some bees, because I overshot, and some oil. There's the oil. So yeah, let's go check out... I don't have my bee scoop, and I don't have one over here, but there were some other kinds of bees, but the oil is what I want to check out here. Because this is, I think, what I want to do for my next source of power. I want... past the crystal forest. There we go. Oil. And that's a decent amount of oil. You can tell how much oil is in the underground reservoir by how high out of the ground it spurts. And this has a decent amount of oil pooled on the surface, and it's shooting up to an elevation of, what is it, 75 or something? So that's not bad. If we poke our head in here, you see there's a hole going all the way down, and that'll go down quite a ways, and that's where the oil actually is. So what we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to get a pump. So I think that might be the next project. So I need... I'll go ahead and turn off those B waypoints. But I need a pump. And there are a couple of kinds of pumps. We could use... yeah, just a couple of kinds of pumps here. The industrial craft pump here is a strange machine that I've never gotten to work correctly. It's more a safety plug-in to the... it's a safety thing for what? For the industrial craft auto miner. Did they change the recipe? Because it used to require a miner, I thought, but it looks like it's been simplified, or I might be just hallucinating. But anyways, the pump is a... oh, maybe the miner's modified on the pump? I don't know. Either way, industrial craft's auto mining machine, which is really kind of cool, is plays in hand with the pump. This is the red power pump, the blue electric pump, and it, in the version of red power I have installed, does not actually pump Buildcraft oil yet. It does in the latest version, but I haven't upgraded. So yeah, so we can't use that, and I don't want to invest in Bluetricity at this point, especially not for some kind of out-of-the-way application. And her storage for the liquid that she pumps is in real-world space. 1 block of fuel takes 1 block of real-world space, so it doesn't compress like a lot of other things do. So I don't want to use that just yet. I would use this for moving a vast quantity of lava, filling a moat, stuff like that. I would definitely use this kind instead. But what we're going to use is we're going to use the Buildcraft pump, because this is Buildcraft oil that we're moving. And okay, so this is the one that uses the mining machine. So this is the Buildcraft mining machine, which is not a very good mining machine. It's kind of weird. Leaves a bunch of debris in the way. It's not as smart as the Industrialcraft mining machine. I would never really recommend using the mining well. I'd use the Industrialcraft miner or the Buildcraft quarries. But so this requires a bunch of iron. Hey, an iron pick. I've got one of those from a werewolf, so that's not bad. And an iron gear, and then a tank, which is just a bunch of glass in a box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with some Buildcraft power out here this time, around... I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And 1, 2, 3. Because I may as well have more of those circuits, and it's not going to hurt me to have a little extra. I also need 1 machine block. I need cobbles and flint for the macerator, and then I also need to get an iron furnace, and I cannot make an iron furnace with refined iron, I believe. Actually, I might be able to. I just haven't bothered to try. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and make this into a machine block just in case I want it later. Okay, so I need to make an iron furnace. Let's see if I have any non-refined iron. You know what, that might be what was cooking. That's probably... Do I have any in there? 10. It was cooking 10. This is 10 dust as well. Phooey. Alright, I need to cook up 5 pieces of iron real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll pop those in the oven. And I'll get my cobbles and flint out. So let's see here. Flint. Flint is probably in the junk box. I have 3 flint. That's good. And rocks. I need some rocks. So, get my furnace for electrifying. Then let's go ahead and make my macerator because I have the parts on hand for that. That's just like this. Yeah, if you recall. Excellent. So we will go ahead and place that macerator down. Now, I'm going to do it. This is foolishness on my part, but I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to move this electric furnace. First I'm going to take the iron out, but I'm going to move this electric furnace. Hey, and it worked. Great. I'm going to stick the 2 furnaces and the 2 macerators next to each other. So the macerator goes in there, so 2 macerators, and my furnaces will go right there. So that'll just make it easier when I'm popping things in there. But let's go ahead and finish that up. Put the crafting table up there. So furnace into an iron furnace gives me that. I left my redstone on the other side of the room. Redstone, redstone, furnace, IC equals an electric furnace. And so now we have twice the cooking and processing capacity, and that'll be good. And we can't reach that through the half block. So that was pretty painless with everything that I had on hand. The music box is off. I'm not complaining too much about that. So let me put some of this stuff back in the boxes real quick. Metal in the metal box. I'll worry about firing off the macerator and everything. Oops, I'm actually using that. But machine rails. I don't need that fish. I killed a bear not too long ago. Okay, so that's most of this stuff here. And redstone can go in that box. Rubber is a machine component. Wait, machine block. While it is just a metal storage block, it's a component of a machine, kind of like a sturdy machine. Okay, so I need to eat something because I had been jumping around like a fool. Fish can go back in the fish box. Alright, fruit salad's back out. Yay. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is sleep through the night, following which I will set up a little bit of well, the rest of my rail system. Alright, and shoes back on now. Boom. Let's get these things back where they belong. I probably should have made some extra plain rail, but we'll go with it. So in here, I have this. We're going to go up, and I've started moving some of these. So we got this up here. I'm just going to... I don't know why a creeper died down there. I'm not going to complain too much. Alright. But I'm going to place... You'll also notice that the taint is growing back. So all of that digging that I did was pretty much to no avail. I need to put some thaumic machinery out there to, I don't know, cleanse the taint, or if I need to get pure vis and just, like, carpet bomb the place with the stuff. Do I not have... Oh, okay. Another trip back to the base real quick. Whee! Creeper. What's Creeper doing in the train yard? Don't answer that. Okay, so let's get the... I need redstone torches for all of these. I've also got a... Do I have my crowbar on me? I have my crowbar on me. Okay, I need... Let's go ahead and just grab that stack of that, and that's enough torches, or that's enough wood. No, it isn't enough wood, I lied. Need a little bit more in the way of sticks. Okay. Need some redstone signals for all of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the power to the rail going the other direction, so if given a nice shove it can return home. So we're going to set up rails basically going the other way, because you saw that... Leave me alone. Saw that the rail was able to head all the way into the other into the other train yard, so we just have to, again, not be too terribly scientific about this. Just kind of hopeful here that this is enough, that it has enough velocity, since it's mostly flat land, to... It's a regular cat. I don't remember if I showed, but I had gone through and lit the track, so it showed up at night. Okay, and we're basically here at this point. Alright, let's go ahead and finish this up. I got 2 more things of powered track. I also need to make some other kinds of power track. I need to make some boarding rail, which is... Really? I will never understand how redstone signals propagate. But I've got some switching track here that I'm going to use instead of this here, just kind of because I want to. And that... Yes, that's what I want. I just need this regular track now. And this regular track is going to go tick tick. And what we're going to want is when the cart comes in here, we're going to want it to turn left by default, which I believe is what... let me get my crowbar out. I might need to rethink how I have these little... Yeah, I'm going to have to do something about that, because really what it's expecting is something more like this here. If I put this here, yeah, that's more like what it's expecting. So, yeah. So what'll happen is you come in, and right now you're going to go straight and loop around like this. And then when you come in here, you'll go back out that way. So there's a lot of things you can do with those switching blocks to automate their behavior, deal with carts that go backwards and stuff like that. But I'm not going to be sending any trains down this system just yet. Did I have a whole bunch of junk in here? I did. I kind of want this to go a little bit further, but there's not a whole lot I can do. Yeah. Alright, well, let's actually see. Let's just go ahead and pop a power. Well, that's different. Let's pop power. There. Okay. Don't want to know. Signal. Let's go ahead and get a cart here and see if this will haul me back. Because I am the power. Come on. Do your thing. Whee! Whoa, dizzy. But it seems to be going okay. Yeah, that'll take me all the way there, and it's gonna try to kick me back. I just know it. Kabam! Oh my, okay. Stop. Okay. That was only a little bit discomforting. So that's why we need the boarding rails. So that's what I will set up next. So I want to make the circular loop with the switching rails because there's some things I want to do with switching. I want to put some batteries in each station and use it to transmit electricity for the first thing. And I also like to maybe contemplate some automation from the cane farm, and I don't want to try to automate apiaries. That's a little bit too ambitious right now, but I would like to automate retrieval from the cane farm. Just kind of have that train going every so often, go pick up a load, come back, because that is something we can definitely do, and I don't want to have to worry about colliding with the cart containing that. So what I will have is I will have a little signaling section that detects if I am riding down the train, or riding down the line the same time the sugar cart is coming down the line, and we can avoid killing ourselves that way. So that'll be great when that happens. Man, so much junk from these werewolves. Look at that stuff. So let's go ahead and make some boarding. So boarding track is sort of a specialized version of a holding track. Holding track, and you'll see the recipe for them is just flip-flopped. So boarding track is what I want. And the difference between the two is a boarding track is unidirectional, and a holding track goes in both directions. But both of them, what happens is when a cart hits one of those tracks, it is stopped immediately. It holds it in place. So seizes up, grabs all of its momentum, and then when a redstone signal is applied, it resumes its course. On a boarding track, a redstone signal will send it off in the one direction. A holding track will send it off in the direction that it was going last. So you can use it to turn around. You can use them to turn around carts or whatever. But maybe have little dead ends that the trains go into to drop off goods and then come back. And that's actually what we're going to have. Is we're going to have some boarding track dead ends. So let me just check that recipe again. So I need those advanced rails, some wooden rail bed, and some stone pressure plates. This is going to be really terrible of me, but I believe, let me just see if I can make stone pressure plates out of cobbles. I think I need to make them out of cooked stone. So let's cook some stone real quick in my new oven. I think I mentioned when I set down the compressor here how that transformer is acting as a signal booster, so there is no electricity loss for running the wire this far. And it fits in the corner there just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and cook up 4 cobbles, and yay, the new oven works. Not that there was any reason to doubt, but the new oven works. So let me get these 2 stones really quick. I probably have cooked stone elsewhere, but let's make stone pressure plate. Let's get from my machine components the advanced rail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a rail bed. And that's what we need to make the boarding track. So if I switch these 2, that's a holding track, and this is a boarding track. And boarding is the one I want because it's the one that always goes in the right direction. So let's go ahead and get that, pop that in here, and see if that works. Yeah, let's go see if that works. I'm going to need to make buttons for this. I also need to... I thought I lit this place up. Shame on me for not lighting up the spooky train yard. Ha, we're going to actually put those higher. Because... Okay, so this rail is no longer a generic powered rail. It is going to be a boarding rail. And we need to turn it around because it went in the direction I was facing when I placed it down, because, yeah, so whack with a crowbar, turned it around. And now it's got a redstone signal to it because I had that there. So I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to set my minecart down. Just going to set it right here. Watch it roll in and grab it. And it grabbed it hard. So that's good. And if I... I need a button. Let's get my button. Lucky I cooked some stone. So I'm pretty sure I don't know what it is with me and vanilla recipes today, but 2 huge cooked stones equals 1 teeny button. So let's put that there, and this will be the go button. And we'll just stick it right there. That is so invisible, I'll change the color of this. But now if I sit in here and I click that button, it propels me. And we're going to go back over here. And I'm not sure what's going to happen when I hit that other end of the rail, so we're about to find out. That's a pink dolphin. It's just going to propel me in a circle. I knew it. Okay. Stop. Okay. So, we need to put that holding rail, or that zombies in the train station. Or have I played that game before? Okay, let's go ahead and put this one this boarding track right there, facing that direction. So when you get there, what'll happen is it'll stop right here, off in the corner, and then you can press the button and it'll resume you on your trip. And of course I didn't make another button. I wouldn't just happen to have. I wouldn't. Of course I wouldn't. Why would I? Okay. Well, let's ride the train back, shall we? Push it and catch it. Okay, good. Alright, so kind of wish I could avoid these 90-degree turns, but oh, here we go. Jousting for skeletons. Bam. And outrunning spiders and things. Okay, but this, hopefully, when I get there, this will just stop as soon as I get to the end, and ka-chunk. And I can safely get out. And I will go inside, sleep through the night, and make that other button. Those running boots are taking some getting used to. Almost contemplating making another set of the regular running boots, because I liked them, just didn't like them that much. Okay, let's go ahead and put some of this junk away here. The redstone back, I don't need that anymore. Go ahead and put the rail back, because I'm done with that for the most part. Wrench back. Let's go ahead and put the furnace and the work cart back. I don't need those. Let's go ahead and take this here. Make that button. Since this is a single-player world, I can get away with some stuff that I wouldn't normally do in my normal world. Like leaving that train cart unattended forever and not having to worry that one of my friends is going to run off with it. That there. Actually, you there, you there. Oh, that's what it is. This is my ordering of tools. My spare things here. Alright, done sorting. Done wasting time sorting. Let's put these cobbles back. Put this redstone torch back. Go install that button. And figure out what we're going to do next. Should be able to... Okay, we're going to ride the train one more time. And there we go. We watch it backwards? That's not disconcerting at all. Okay. So, let's see, other projects. I need to set up... This is fast enough that I'm not too annoyed by it. I kind of like that the footpath gives up and just the train track continues. And this... Oh no, kitty! Alright, and stop. Bam. And it stopped me. Okay, and we are going to, without leaving the cart, we're going to place that button right there, and we're going to press the button, and whoosh! We go back off. So that's cool. Alright, so that does work. Great. I need to actually... Unfortunately, I need to stop and turn around. I need to go back and get... I need to check on the cane farm. So I'm still kind of bummed about the whole Mistcraft debacle, because it was great. And I like that the cart is just there for me now. We'll make with 2 carts later or something. Have them switch places. Maybe use wireless redstone to fire both off at the same time, so whenever I push the button, the replacement cart flies past. Wow, it's kind of weird walking this kind of distance without shoes on. So let's see how much... Hey! Look at the sugarcane farm. That's more like what I expected to see out of that production. And look, it's still going. And that's just with... that's an electric engine going forever. You can see I love his new UIs. These are amazing. You see how it's just taking a little bit, then pulsing 2 megajoules. And right now, yeah, I love what he's done with those. So it'll be great if he gets around to putting that in all of Buildcraft, because he's kind of the head man in that project now. So, oh, one thing that I did do. When I was on my way back from the mining, the long storied gold mining expedition, I did discover some bees, because I overshot, and some oil. There's the oil. So yeah, let's go check out. I don't have my bee scoop, and I don't have one over here, but there were some other kinds of bees, but the oil is what I want to check out here. Because this is, I think, what I want to do for my next source of power. I want past the crystal forest. There we go. Oil. And that's a decent amount of oil. You can tell how much oil is in the underground reservoir by how high out of the ground it spurts. And this has a decent amount of oil pooled on the surface, and it's shooting up to an elevation of, what is it, 75 or something? So that's not bad. If we poke our head in here, you see there's a hole going all the way down, and that'll go down quite a ways, and that's where the oil actually is. So what we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to get a pump. So I think that might be the next project. So I'll go ahead and turn off those B waypoints. But I need a pump. And there are a couple of kinds of pumps. We could use, yeah, just a couple of kinds of pumps here. The industrial craft pump here is a strange machine that I've never gotten to work correctly. It's more a safety plug-in to the it's a safety thing for what? For the industrial craft auto miner. Did they change the recipe? Because it used to require a miner, I thought, but it looks like it's been simplified, or I might be just hallucinating. But anyways, the pump is maybe the miner's modified on the pump. I don't know. Either way, Industrial Craft's auto mining machine, which is really kind of cool, is plays hand in hand with the pump. This is the red power pump, the blue electric pump. And it, in the version of Red Power I have installed, does not actually pump Buildcraft oil yet. It does in the latest version, but I haven't upgraded. So yeah, so we can't use that, and I don't want to invest in Bluetricity at this point, especially not for some kind of out-of-the-way application. And her storage for the liquid that she pumps is in real-world space. 1 block of fuel takes 1 block of real-world space, so it doesn't compress like a lot of other things do. So I don't want to use that just yet. I would use this for moving a vast quantity of lava, filling a moat, stuff like that. I would definitely use this kind instead. But what we're going to use is we're going to use the Buildcraft pump, because this is Buildcraft oil that we're moving. And okay, so this is the one that uses the mining machine. So this is the Buildcraft mining machine, which is not a very good mining machine. It's kind of weird. Leaves a bunch of debris in the way. It's not as smart as the Industrial Craft mining machine. I would never really recommend using the mining well. I'd use the Industrial Craft miner or the Buildcraft quarries. But so this requires a bunch of iron. Hey, an iron pick. I've got one of those from a werewolf, so that's not bad. And an iron gear, and then a tank, which is just a bunch of glass in a box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with some Buildcraft power out here this time, around, I am going to set up a pump to pump all of that oil into just a big tank. I'm going to make like each of these tank blocks here, these blocks store 16 buckets of liquid. And so I figure I'll make 5 tanks or so we can store an even 5 times 16, big number. Is that a crocagator? That is a crocagator. Crocagator's gonna die. He's confused. Okay. Oh, look at all the turtles. It's stuff like this that just, you know, low creatures can be a hassle sometimes, but it makes things look so much more organic. So I need to go back. So that might be, yeah, and I think once I set up, oh, I've got, I don't have any cactus, but I'm pumping liquid. Thankfully, I've been doing a lot of beekeeping, and so I have wax, which is a waterproofing agent. So I can make waterproof pipes for transport. Oh, come on. I can make some waterproofing for my pipe. There we go. Door closed. Me in seat. Am I done out here? I picked up that. I killed a crocodile. I'm good. Let's go. Whee! Alright. So we have everything we need to make that pump, and probably everything we need to make those tanks. I don't know if I have enough sand on hand, but hey, I've got 2 macerators, so I could run a stack of cobbles through there to make those. So I'm going to make just a stack of glass into ding, and we can shift click or right click to get back out, and go back inside, and indoor shoes off. Okay, let's get, oh, for now, your lumber. Just get out of the way. And crocodile skin can go in there. Okay, so junk box, get an iron pickaxe, excellent. Alright. Bunch of iron, need a bunch of iron. Do I not have a bunch of iron? I should have fired off a bunch of iron to cook while I was waiting. So, that's my bad. But behold, the double power. Now, there is an upgrade. Actually, let me... Let's go in here where it's quieter. There is an upgrade to the... Whoa. There's an upgraded furnace that accepts medium voltage, I believe, cooks 2 items at a time, and potentially cooks them very, very rapidly. Oh, that door up there, that side passage, I did mine everything visible out of there the other day. I'm contemplating putting a... I should put a trampoline down here so I can just jump. But let's see how this is doing. Things are going good here. How's this doing? We've got 1 Eternalis out of that, so that's nice. Go ahead and pop that. I left my Klein Star upstairs. That's alright. So that's good. I don't have any spare glass down here. And this is probably what I was using glass for the most with my Thomic stuff. So I'm going to let all of that noisy machinery run its course upstairs. I will run back upstairs and get ready to, and I'll probably either cook some glass, cook some sand, or macerate some cobbles and then cook some sand, and get all of the stuff ready to go ahead and build my pump system. We're not going to do anything with the oil yet. We're just going to get a bunch of it out of the ground, I think, as the project for today. So yeah, I'll be... Okay, and while I was waiting for all of that stuff to happen upstairs that was making lots of machinery noises, I burnt through all of my researchables downstairs and wound up discovering the Thaumic Restorer, which is the Thaumcraft repair machine. So if I didn't have equivalent exchange and I was wanting to recharge repair items, this would be the machine to do it. I'm not sure about... I don't know. I don't know if there's any reason to do this or not, but hey, I learned the recipe. So I learned that. But more interestingly right now, I got all of that iron out. I did forget to check on my glass before resuming to record. So this is going to be embarrassing. Watch. I don't have nearly enough sand, so stack of cobbles split in half into the horror again. But we have enough glass right now that we can cook that up real quick. So let me get that going here, and you can see that the macerator turns cobblestone into sand, which is just a really nice way to get this without having to go out. I have a nice shovel, so it will be okay. Wow, that is loud. I apologize profusely. Poof, sand. So I'm going to let this run. While I'm waiting for all of that to happen, I figured I'd go ahead and process all that sugarcane into books. And it turns out, books with the number of bookshelves I have around it, is actually viable research fodder. I mean, you know, I'm burning a lot of them, but it's less cheesy than processing a stack of cobbles. And, I mean, I've got quite a few fragments. I've actually seen better luck with this than researching common artifacts, so I think I'm going to do this a little bit more often, because there are a lot of lost knowledge things, and, I mean, only 33% chance, but 33 times 5 is... I'll probably get something out of this. So going to go ahead and let that run. That stuff is really, really unforgivably loud upstairs. Concentrated Vis. Moderate. Charm of Vigor. That sounds interesting. And at only moderate difficulty, that might be worth researching. Okay, so yeah, 33 times 5 equals I got 2 things. That's not bad at all from a stack of books. So let's go ahead and see what I get for... Oh yeah, 72% chance. Now it is burning those books to get that up to 72, but that's going to actually research. And that one's moderate as well, so we will research that one. I really dislike the zombie noises when I'm doing this. I'm contemplating strongly putting a door behind me, because I think the zombies are just in one of the nearby caves, but it's still highly unnerving. So I love the standard galactic alphabet. I used to know that when I was a kid. Played way too much Commander Keen. Hey, there we go, Charm of Vigor. And let's go ahead and get that running, and that one's also got a good chance of success as well. There we go. Let's share the love on that. Actually, just to avoid any problems, let's grab another half stack of books to split between those two to ensure success. So let's see what those are, and then I will run back upstairs. All of the glass should be done cooking, enough glass at least, for me to get some stuff put together. Excellent. Okay, so I like that. I'm going to put a door, I think, right here, just so I don't freak out every time I hear the zombies behind me. So Concentrated Vis is just crystal in a bottle, bottle Vis. And this is... maybe I could use these to carpet bomb the taint next door. That might not be a bad idea. I'll have to look that up. See if that's one thing it's good for. And Charm of Vigor, which is a golden apple and a fish. Water breathing. Water breathing. That's not bad at all. And it's food, but it's water breathing. I'm not having problems with food, but that is water breathing. And Yeah, I think I will definitely make me one of those. Of course, I need to find an apple, and I have not seen a single apple this entire game. So we'll go ahead and put these there. I will do more stuff down here. I need to remind me to bring a door. Is there any more Eternalists? Yeah, another thing of Eternalists is made. So I mean, that is... I could probably... I mean, it doesn't take long for it to pay for itself, and I could start getting a factory of these things generating. I really don't want to engage in a lot of the... I don't know. A lot of transmutation, but I'm very interested in using equivalent exchange to get other equivalent exchange things. I'd like, you know, dark matter, maybe a red matter furnace. Even though it runs on fuel, it can run on EMC. So that's not a bad idea. Anyways, back upstairs. Okay, so all of that's finally done cooking. I'm back upstairs, and I think I have everything on hand to make what I want to build here. So the first thing I need to make is I need to make that pump. And the pump is made with a mining well. And a mining well is made thusly. An iron gear, redstone on top, and the pick on the bottom. So let's go ahead and make an iron gear. I'm actually going to need several more gears for some other stuff, so I'm going to make 5 wooden gears. So I got 5 wooden gears out, and I'm going to take all of those and wrap them in cobbles to make stone gears. Wait, no, not all of them. Just the one. Just the one. I think I need these to stay wood. So and the stone gear I need to then wrap in iron to make into my iron gear. And then, what was it? It was this plus that to make the mining well. And then to make the mining well into a pump, you just stick a tank on top of it, which is that. And I need a couple of tanks. I don't want to waste all of my glass because I have a few more things that I need to use glass for. So I'm just going to make 6 tanks, like I said. And this gives me more than enough glass for everything else. So mining well plus a tank gives me that pump. Now I need some machines to run it. And the simplest buildcraft machine is a redstone engine. And these machines are terrible. They're terrible compared to everything else. But for pumping water or oil in at a rate where you don't care about the results, it's not bad. So that's why I needed the wooden gears for this and pistons. And I need 2 of these because I'm going to run 2 of them on the pump. You can run a pump with just 1. You could run a pump with 4 of these redstone engines powering it. But 2 of them seems to be the level at which I feel most comfortable with my production rate. So I'm going to go ahead and make 2 of these. And all of the Buildcraft engines they kind of follow this pattern. They're a piston, a glass, or a glass block, a pusher plate made out of material, and gears made out of that same material. So there's wood, stone, iron, bronze, copper, tin engines that are just, the only difference is the material they're made out of, and that changes the behavior, the fuel inputs, and the power output. But the redstone engine is by far the least efficient. It is orders of magnitude slower than the next best thing. Because this thing here, even when fully warmed up, maybe it's only 10 times, 20 times slower, but because this takes time to warm up, and when it's not warmed up, it's probably 100 times, 200 times slower than the stone engine, which burns coal. And it's called the steam engine for whatever reason. But anyways, we need to make some pistons. And pistons are made like this, if my brain has not abandoned me, and it hasn't. Good. Okay, so I need 2 pistons, and that'll be enough for that. We then need, I guess, wooden pusher plates, glass blocks, wooden gears, and pistons, and we got 2 redstone engines. Okay, so we have a pump, we have redstone engines to power it, we have tanks to put the oil in once it's been pumped. We need some redstone torches to make sure that to turn those engines on, and we need some piping. Now, if you remember from what was it, episode 2, I made some brass pipes for my fuel burning engine. But for this, I'm going to make some cobblestone pipes, and I'm going to waterproof them. And the way I'm going to waterproof them is with beeswax, because normally I use cactus for this. 1 unit of cooked cactus green dye, turns into 1 unit of pipe waterproofing. But I have not seen a blasted cactus this entire game, but I do have bees, and so this is the first thing we're actually going to use the bee product for, is the beeswax turns into waterproofing. I have 8 units of pipe here, because each set of, all of the Buildcraft style pipes are, made with 2 pieces of material, 1 piece of glass. So you can make iron pipe, and they do weird different things. There's logical changes in the pipes. I don't think you can make pipe out of just straight up redstone. Yeah, you can. You put redstone on something, it's a modifier. But all of the, wood pipe, stone or cobble pipe, iron pipe, they all have different behaviors. Diamond pipe. But I'm going to make cobble pipe because it's normal piping. And that's all I need. And what I do need to make, though, is I need to waterproof all of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I will waterproof my cobblestone pipe. And so now I have 8 waterproof pipe. That's more pipe than I need, but that's okay. All right, and this is all we need to get set up. Out pumping. It's nighttime. Out pumping that stuff. So I'm going to go to sleep, and in the morning I'm going to go ahead and ride the train. I won't make you watch me ride the train again. Okay, so I'm back over here. Let's go check on the sugarcane farm, just out of morbid curiosity. Let's see how much it's already harvested. Yeah, it's already... so this is doing ridiculously well. Almost criminally well. But let's go ahead and go over here and find me that oil. I see you, oil. I'm gonna pump you. Okay, so the way the pump works, oh, how convenient is that? They even gave me a place to attach it to. If you look, I'm going to place the pump block and look underneath it for this little yellow and black hose that it sets out. That is going to go down now. See, it ejected that, and there we go, ka-chunk. There's a little blub sound effect every time it goes down into a new layer. But that is ready. Now we just need to power it, but first I'm going to run my waterproof pipe out of here. Now, frequently if you're transmitting things with... Actually, frequently if you're... Come on, you. Wow. Okay. Frequently if you're transmitting things, liquid around, you need to use some wooden pipes and redstone engines on those wooden pipes to get things moving, but the pump provides that energy, so we don't have to. So I can just use cobble pipes straight for the whole run. Let's go ahead and let's get it down over here. I'd like my tanks to be right here. I'm going to go ahead and place those tanks. Let's go ahead and set it right there. Okay, 5 of those there. And you... There are some other really, really cool things that are done with There we go. Hey, that was exactly enough. How's that for eyeballing it? Okay, so that's a huge tank, and I should probably put some lights out here just to keep the creepies away. Thankfully, this is in a, it is in a crystal forest, so it's already actually pretty well lit. So it's a pretty safe place to be. But now we need to put our redstone engines, attach those, and I'm going to put them on either side of the pump. So here, and you see how it detected that there was a machine next to it when I placed it, so it faced in the right direction. I can't wait until red power starts doing that, but it's a lot more complicated doing things with red power. Okay, and there we go, other side. Excellent. So now let's put some redstone signals on either side of these machines. So I can't, oh, I can't attach a torch to these leaves. So let's just get some glow dirt. 2 units of glowy dirt. And use that to, and of course that's not the signal. Okay, oh, come on. This is something that I fail at miserably, is getting redstone signals to things in weird angles. Okay, let's try it from this way. Aha! Better solution. And now if I put one there, that's doing it. Okay, you see the red glow coming from those engines. That means they're getting it. And you'll notice they're turned on, and one, oh, that one went, and oh, one, and okay. And every time they do that, that is exactly 1 unit of buildcraft energy. And as opposed to the cobblestone steam engine, which generates 1 unit of energy every tick, and there are 20 ticks in a second. So that's, yeah, this is like 200 times slower. And you'll notice there's still nothing happening in this pipe. So we're going to let this run for a little bit. And now as these things go, they warm up, and eventually they run 3-4 times as fast. So they're actually acceptable. But right now what's happening is that quarry's internal energy buffer is just waiting, oh yeah, there it goes, until it gets just enough energy to actually push a single bucket of oil. And so it moved a single bucket of oil, and that's going to go, and that's going to fill up way at the bottom of that tank there. And there's no animation for it going through the tank. But and you'll also notice that the height of the spout went down. And so the nozzle went down, and that's going to go down, 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 and eventually what it does is it sucks everything out of the Z layer it's on. Once it's done there, it goes down, sucks everything out of that layer, and keeps going down. So eventually, this is going to be, I mean, there is actually right now a pit to the, to the center of the earth. Here, we'll go ahead and swim over and look. I mentioned this earlier. Yeah, there's this pit to the center of the earth right there that you could see for a second there. That, yep, and okay, it pumped a second one, so it moved down. So one problem with having the quarry up here is it is going to be, up high, sitting on top of, adjacent to this tree, kind of floating in the air. Looks kind of weird. Once it gets going, we could move it and set it back down, but I think it's fine how it is right now. One thing to be aware of, buildcraft machines can overheat, and when they overheat they explode. The electrical engine that I'm using for the sugarcane farm over there is different because it's not vanilla buildcraft, and I'm providing it with very, very low energy. Any of these other machines that run on combustion of some fuel can overheat. The redstone engines are semi-unique in the vanilla, I say vanilla buildcraft, in the stock buildcraft. And see, we've got 3 buckets, and you can tell each of those hashes is 1, 2, 3. So we're at 3 buckets now, and each of these things holds 16 whole buckets. So that's 16 times 5. It's a lot of oil. And we will use that oil. We'll turn it into fuel. We will refine it slowly. And then we will use that refined energy. There we go. All right. Now watch. When it gets here, it's going to actually start sucking the oil out of all of this. So it's going to take it a while before it goes any deeper than that now. But you'll see little pockets start to appear down here. But like I said, the machines can overheat. Now, and redstone engines can't overheat normally. They can only overheat if suddenly they have no work to do. Like, say, if that quarry vanished, but these engines were still going. Normally the engines won't start unless there's work to do, so something has to blow up, or a piece has to move, or something like that. But it can happen. And when they blow up, and they do damage, and they destroy blocks around them, and it's generally unpleasant for everybody involved. But we're going to get a ton of oil. We're going to be able to fill that whole thing. And once I've got a bunch of oil in here, I'm going to set up a petrochemical generator that burns this oil and generates electricity. And we are going to take that electricity, and we're probably going to recycle that into more machinery, and I'll make some kind of feedback loop where the fuel, because we'll refine the oil into fuel, the fuel will turn into electricity, and that electricity will be used to refine further fuel, and all of the excess, because there will be plenty of excess, because burning fuel is really efficient. You'll notice it feels like it's going a little bit faster. Once this heats up, these engines will actually change color. It'll change to green, and then to orange, and maybe to red. Oh, see there, that one's running green now. And you see how it's pulsing twice as fast. And so we're actually going to start getting a decent amount of oil output. But yeah, so this is fun. This is going to be a lot of good energy for the future. I'm a big fan of using the Buildcraft oil as a power source, so that's one of the big reasons that I have the Buildcraft Industrialcraft crossover mod plugged in, because I love those petrochemical generators. The rest of their electrical engines are a little bit strange, but they work great. And we're in a water-filled place. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the oil, once I have it from here, I'm going to set up a pipeline, because we have no shortage of waterproofing, and I'm going to run a pipeline out. Boom! Oh, lag boom. I couldn't hit that creeper. I'm getting about 10 FPS right now. But yeah, so we will run I think I will run a pipeline down to the shore. And this is one of those cases where, the whole reason I was going into that with the warnings about machines blowing up is that if you don't, or what am I trying to say? I am trying to say that if you have machines that are not loaded, or you have machines that are partially loaded on chunk boundaries from each other, bad things can happen. You can have one of your inputs or outputs not working because it's not in the chunk that's being processed, and then your machines explode and you lose oil. I've blown up oil refineries because of chunk problems. But we've got a world anchor down at the down by the treehouse. That's a decent distance away, but it's not too far. I've run longer pipelines, and with all of that beeswax to handle my waterproofing instead of having to farm cacti for it, I think we're actually in a pretty good shape. And then of course also once we've pumped out a lot of this oil, we can reuse a lot of this piping. Let's see, I've already got 16. Oh, almost. Okay, we got about 12 buckets of oil already. I mean, that is a ton of energy already. So yeah, this is Allaryin. Thank you for watching. I'll see you.